Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside Indiana Overtime. Alex McCarthy, Ed Magoni here from Bankers Life Fieldhouse from the press conference area, hence the Bankers Life logos behind us. This is the second straight game that we've done this from Bankers Life, and it's the second straight game that Indiana's lost at Bankers Life. They lose 77-62 against Louisville. It really could have been even worse than that for the way Indiana played, especially in the first half. Indiana turned the ball over 11 times in the first half, shot abysmally, horribly, under 30%, and still kind of felt like they were in the game until the last 5 minutes of the half when Louisville kind of went on a 12-0 run and then just dominated the game from then on out. But this is Indiana's worst shooting performance of the season, 32.2% from the floor, and they just didn't seem to really get anything to fall today.
No, especially from beyond the arc. They only shot 19%. I don't know that I've seen a team since I've been covering Indiana that shot 19% from the three-point line, especially under Tom Crean. They've always been a very good three-point shooting team. And Louisville, a team who doesn't shoot that well, didn't seem to be able to miss. I mean, they just kept draining shots. They hit 52.9% of their two-pointers and 42% of their 42% of their three-pointers, so that's way above their averages, which they average usually about 45% from the field, and they shot almost 53%. So,
yeah, it was another example of, and it was the same thing that happened against Nebraska the other night too, where Nebraska shot like 15 or 20% above its season average against IU's defense, and that's what James Blackman after the game, I think he was sitting in this exact chair. Was saying that we didn't shoot great from the floor, but we know that the bigger problem is defensively. We need to improve on that if we want to be competitive come Tuesday. And Wisconsin's coming to town, and Indiana's going to try and avoid a 3-game losing streak, because this is 2 in a row, and this is the first time in more than 650 days actually that Indiana's lost 2 games in a row. The last time was to end the 2014-2015 season, where they lost in the Big Ten tournament and then in the first round of Wichita State. But yeah, tonight, I mean, there were some kind of silver linings, I guess, for Indiana. Blackman was certainly one of them. He had 10 points and 11 rebounds for what we think is his first career double-double. It's certainly his first of the season. OG Anunoby had 14 points, 6 for 10 shooting. Indiana outscored Louisville 21-5 on second chance points. And Deron Davis was a really big part of that. He got his first career start tonight and played really well in stretches, I thought.
Yeah, he got 8 rebounds and 8 points in 18 minutes. It's pretty good production, even though he was only 3 of 10 from the field. He still produced some points, and he missed some point-blank shots, but against Louisville, that's probably going to happen. I mean, they're very long, and they block shots very well. But the biggest thing that surprised me is just how well Louisville was able to run their offense against Indiana. I mean, it looked like Indiana, like Louisville was playing like Indiana usually plays, and Indiana was playing like Louisville usually plays, at least shooting the ball. They had 4 guys in double figures. They usually only have 3 who average in double figures, led by a career high by Donovan Mitchell, who only averages like 11.5 points per game. He scored 25 tonight.
That was great.
Yeah, he was sensational, as was Deng Adel, who he shot 50% from the three-point arc and scored 17 points. So he had a good night as well.
Yeah, and it was just like you said, there just seemed to be so many shots there for Louisville, and even when Indiana had its open looks, they clanked them, and especially. You felt kind of bad for Robert Johnson on a lot of those possessions, because Indiana would just dribble around and do nothing and do nothing and do nothing, and then give him the ball with like 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and he'd have to heave something up. He finished 1 for 13 from the floor, missed all 8 of his three-pointers. Just a very Robert Johnson-like performance, quite frankly. I haven't looked through all of his games, but I assume that's the worst that he's ever shot in an IU uniform, just because he's usually so efficient and so consistent. But tonight, I mean, and I use offense lightly, when Indiana had the ball, there was really nothing going on. And we were sitting right beside the basket, near the IU bench, and Tom Crean was just yelling at times, move, 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 and telling guys to run the baseline and do something. But there was just really no movement, either with the ball or off the ball or anything. It was just dribble, 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 bad shot, or turnover. It was just an IU offense that looks like it has really no focus at this point. And halfway through the season, that's a bit of a concern for Indiana.
Yeah, particularly when, they kept going late into the shot clock. They were forcing transition shots that weren't there, taking followays instead of just going strong to the basket. And they had Louisville in some not foul trouble, but they were in the bonus early in both halves. And you think they would have just, driven in there and tried to get to the free throw line, and they just didn't do it. I mean, it's that simple. And on top of that, Indiana really cut down on its turnovers in the second half. Only turned it over, I think, 3 times.
Yeah, I think so.
In the second half, and they still couldn't. They actually lost ground instead of gaining ground. So that's incredible. I mean, how you improve from 11 turnovers in the first half to 3 turnovers in the second half, and it doesn't add up to any kind of better offensive output. It's they scored 8 more points, but their efficiency was no better, and that's what's amazing.
Yeah, that it just, they were kind of able to hang around for a while, like you said, because they were hitting free throws in the first half and they were getting those second chance opportunities. But after a while, when you're just not getting any kind of consistently good shots, you're just going to fall behind. Thomas Bryant, another quiet night. He was 2 for 5, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and again, just kind of looked like he didn't know how to get a shot and didn't know how to create for himself and didn't know how to get in position, which for a guy who a lot of people expect to have an NBA future, that's pretty concerning. So I don't know, a lot of, as the calendar flips from 2016 to 2017, a lot of questions for this Indiana team sitting at 10-4, and with some tough games coming up. Wisconsin, I guess Tuesday night.
Another good defensive team.
Yeah. Number 14 team in the country, and a team that just, as has just historically the past 15 or 20 years just had IU's number. So that'll be interesting. That'll be tough. We'll be there for it. But until then, Ed, thanks again for joining.
Sure.
I'm Alex McCarthy. Have a good New Year's Eve. Stay safe, and we will talk to you next year.
Happy New Year's.